It's V-Week on ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
Case's first team of Red Terrors opened the William Neal Reynolds Coliseum on December 2nd, 1949, with a 67-47 win over Washington and Lee. It was the start of something big. Fans flocked to the new arena to see the Wolfpack run.
13 seconds to go. Maglio down the middle. Just look at him. It's good. Lawmaker's last try misses and State wins 85-84, which wins the Dixie Classic.
Great coaches. Case, Sloan, Valvano. Reynolds Coliseum has created perhaps more memories and traditions than any collegiate facility in America. For old times there are not forgotten.
Tradition meets today inside of historic Reynolds Coliseum as NC State is set to play its annual Heritage Game inside the arena it called home for 50 years. It's the Wolfpack and Coppin State. The Eagles are in town. Tremendous atmosphere on campus here in Raleigh. Hello, everybody. I'm Andrew Sanders. To my right is Casey Morsell. Glad you could join us tonight. This incredible venue, Casey, you've had a chance to play in it a couple of times.
This is a huge opportunity for NC State. They don't get to play too often in the Reynolds Coliseum. I expect them to get going early and get the entire building involved.
What Dontrez Styles has got going early in back-to-back games for NC State, he's starting to become one of the go-to offensive options.
Dontrez has been shooting it great as of late. I expect him to get going early as well so that NC State can get easy opportunities on the offensive end.
Meanwhile, this is the Coppin State team that has gotten off to an 0-10 start. They're down a couple of their top players, but Julius Ellerby III has been a bright spot as a transfer on this team.
Coppin State plays through Ellerby a lot on the offensive end. I expect him to go in early and make a huge difference for this Coppin State team.
Red jacket for NC State head coach Kevin Keats tonight here in Valvano Arena, Reynolds Coliseum, and the tip is won by Ben Middlebrooks. NC State in the home white, the throwback uniforms, with State in red across the chest. First touch for Styles. He looks to drive Sparrow. Nearly turned it over. And they do turn it over as Hill stepped on the sideline.
Not surprised, Coppin State started the game off early in a 2-3 zone. They noticed NC State hasn't been shooting it great as of late. So why not try to go with a 2-3 zone and try to trip them up early?
Cameron Brown bringing the ball up, handling the point guard duties. He'll have to play against NC State's pressure as they turn it over. Bounce pass by Peter Oduro, picked off by the point guard for NC State, Michael O'Connell. Marcus Hill fouled this time by Cameron Sparrow. Get a look at the starting five for NC State. Coming off a nice win, they start their ACC play 1-0, an overtime win over Florida State. Looking to carry that momentum into this game, and then not to look ahead, Casey, but they're at Kansas on Saturday. That's a huge one.
It's essential for them to sharpen the knife as much as possible for heading to Kansas.
Middlebrooks going to work on Oduro, and there's Styles. Couple of chances for NC State, nothing falling. We played 1 minute here. Toby Nadozie. And Sparrow gets the game's first basket. Cameron Sparrow, the sophomore from Baltimore, part of a great freshman class a year ago for the Eagles. Named to the all-rookie team in the MEAC last year.
And one thing with Coppin State running a 2-3 zone, NC State is going to have opportunities to shoot shots. It's essential for them to make them if they want to stay in this game.
NC State has not shot the ball particularly well from three so far this year, so it figures they might see zone a bit this season. Eagles 0-10, but not untested against ACC opponents. They started the season at Wake Forest. As Sparrow is short on the 3. Also at Virginia and at Miami. So this is their 4th ACC game.
One thing NC State's trying to do is they're trying to beat the zone. It's essential for them to try to beat it to get easy opportunities.
Another 3 from Hill. Still nothing falling. Big 2-end rebounded by Middlebrooks. And we got a whistle. I think this is going to be on Styles. An ice cold start for NC State. 0 of 5 from the floor.
One thing we can expect from NC State is for them to attack the glass on the offensive end. One thing Kevin Keats loves is second and third opportunities, keeping the offense alive.
That's the thing, Coppin State in his zone. It's going to be a lot tougher for them to rebound out of that zone. Cameron Brown, another basket for Coppin State, and a nice start for the Eagles. They'll show a little pressure as well with Ndozi. Hill throws out of the trap. Good look opposite by Middlebrooks. Maybe a run out. Golly Horton, Euro step, wave it off. He was fouled first on the point guard O'Connell.
And those are the types of shots you're going to get tonight if you're NC State. In that 2-3 zone, essentially Coppin State is giving up the open 3 and living with it in hopes that it goes in their favor.
And nothing's fallen yet, so Coach Keats going to bring on a number of subs. Breon Pass, Dennis Parker Jr., Trey Parker, and Brandon Huntley Hatfield. So a new 4. Only O'Connell, who just picked up the foul, stays out there. This is Ndozi, who played against NC State last year when he was at Maryland Eastern Shore. Last touch by the Eagles. Officials tonight: Bill Covington Jr., Tony Padilla, and Adam Flore.
I expect Coppin to stay in this 2-3 zone until we see NC State make shots.
of 7. Breon Pass, who hit a couple of threes, late shot clock threes at that, in the win over Florida State. Can't hit this time. Brown impeded by Parker. That's Trey Parker, and the freshman picks up his first, team's third. And Ellerby going to come into the game along with Jonathan Dunn. So some good size coming in, a couple of 6'7" wing players as Sparrow and Horton out. Fans still filing in here. Good crowd tonight in the Heritage game, as you would expect. But 3.5 minutes, no points yet for NC State. And a layup for the Eagles. It's Oduro. Nearly a turnover from O'Connell, who's been one of the nation's best in terms of assist to turnover ratio this year. First touch, Huntley Hatfield looking to get established. And a reach-in foul. That'll be 2 on O'Connell. So nothing falling for NC State, and now the guy that orchestrates the offense just picked up his second.
That might be a huge loss for NC State. Mike O'Connell has to decrease the pressure, especially in this first half.
Now, Casey, this is pretty rare, isn't it? 2 fouls in the first half. Typically, Coach Keats is going to make a sub, but this is maybe a sign of trust in his 5th-year senior point guard.
Yeah, I believe he trusts Mike O'Connell. Mike knows how to play with 2 fouls early in the first half. I expect him to come out in the near future.
Yeah, Hill just went over to the scorer's table. They throw it away. Dennis Parker Jr. throws ahead. O'Connell. We can't take him out yet because he's going to the free throw line when we come back. Coppin State off to a 6-0 start, and the zone doing wonders against the Wolfpack here at the under-16. That's a great start for Coppin State. 6-0 here on the road in Reynolds Coliseum. And Their second-year head coach is Larry Stewart, one of the best players in Coppin State history. Took him to the 1990 NCAA tournament, went on to have great success in the NBA despite being undrafted, named to the all-rookie team. And you see, he was at Coppin State 1988 to 1991, which is a pretty cool tie-in as O'Connell puts NC State on the board with the free throw. Is that the very first meeting between NC State and Coppin State was right here on this floor, back when it was the regular home of NC State men's basketball. December 1988, his freshman year, played here with Coppin State against NC State. An NC State team, by the way, that had 5 pros on it, including Chris Corciani, Rodney Monroe, Chucky Brown, Tom Gugliana, Brian Howard, all on that team. Dunn gets the layup, and right now Coppin State has been able to get to the rim a few times, Casey.
That's something that Coppin State is doing. They're attacking the basket, trying to get easy looks at the rim.
Yes, they are 0-10, but again, this is their 4th ACC opponent. So talk about, you know, coming in. There are no nerves when you're facing your 4th ACC team. And they've been in these types of environments before. Backing down. Still no field goals. Breon pass, looking to draw a foul. Another offensive rebound. Parker does draw the foul, and finally a field goal goes in for NC State.
Much needed by NC State, getting multiple opportunities at the rim. Strong move by Trey Parker to complete it.
Dennis Parker Jr. kept it alive. So that stops. Kind of is like the story for Coppin State, right? NC State started 0-10 from the floor. Got to keep going. Freshman from Fayetteville, missing the free throw. That was an issue for NC State a couple of games ago. SEC ACC challenge against Texas. The Wolfpack team shooting just better than 30% from 3. Nothing going down yet as Sparrow elevates and hits.
Sparrow took advantage of what the defense gave him. Breon pass, gambled, trying to get a steal in that play, and led to an easy opportunity for Coppin State at the basket.
Parker again with O'Connell having the 2 fouls, and there's Breon pass in the corner, and that's what he can provide in his senior season. A good 3-point shooter.
Big shot by Breon pass. That's something that NC State is going to have is those 3-point opportunities tonight.
Good find for Ellerby as both Parker and Huntley Hatfield got a hand up.
Coppin State is taking advantage of NC State's pressure. They're guarding them closer to the half-court line, and they're taking full advantage of it.
Same spot, same shot for pass. This time it rims out. Parker Jr. cleans up. And Coach Stewart is not pleased with his team on the defensive glass. He will call it timeout. 12-8 Eagles.
Picture this, the sofa no one else has. Designed by you to fit your space, all in your dream fabric and dream color. At Value City Furniture, you don't have to picture it. You can experience it.
There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Take a look, can you see into your imagination?
Coppin State has made its last 4 shots, but on the other end of the 4, timeout called by Coach Stewart because his team has already conceded 5 offensive rebounds. And Casey, other than that, they've been pretty much perfect tonight, but as NC State has missed shots, that defensive stop doesn't count until you grab that rebound.
And that's something that I'm sure Larry Stewart is emphasizing in his huddle, is to finish possessions. I mean, they're doing a decent job with guarding NC State on the initial action. It's all about finishing for this Coppin State team.
Zaire Harrison has come in, the backup point guard to Cameron Brown. Big show by Dennis Parker Jr., who switches off. Sparrow had it tipped out of his hand. important, a three. And an offensive rebound. First for the Eagles. And now Cameron Sparrow's going to go to the line. He's already got 4 points. This is a Coppin State team playing hard, playing inspired. Just looking for that first win of the season.
Coppin State just has more energy, it seems like. They're attacking the rim, trying to get second and third opportunities at the rim. They're undersized, so that's the only way they can stay in it is through their energy.
They gave Wake Forest a pretty good game in the opener. But and keep in mind, this is a team that went 2-27 last year, right? But as the 0-1-2-3 starts to add up, it starts to become more of a story. They're just playing through it. Looking to get that first win of the season. What a story it'd be if they get one here. Well enough so far. 6-point lead, 7 minutes into this game. Dunn called for a foul. Trying to get through Middlebrooks.
Coppin State is doing a solid job on the defensive end. As I mentioned earlier, one thing Larry Stewart emphasized during that timeout is to block out and finish the possessions. I expect them to make that adjustment.
This is Paul McNeil. Parker, a three. He was on line too strong. So Coach Keats putting in McNeil Jr. here just to see. He is known as the best shooter on the team as Middlebrooks left his feet, and that led to the foul against Harrison. So when you're having shooting struggles, right, there's 3 of 15 to start. Why not try to go to McNeil Jr., who has not played a ton. Just 6 total points on the year, but perhaps he can provide a spark.
Coppin State is taking advantage of NC State's pressure. Harrison had a mismatch on that play and decided to break down Middlebrooks, try to move him away from the basket so he had room to operate.
There goes 1 of 2. Coppin State has led this the whole way. NC State just looking for some rhythm offensively. They turn it over. This is Dunn. Can't finish around the rim. And the rebound taken by Harrison. No look to Dunn for the flush.
Coppin State is just playing hard.
They're playing hard. They're having fun.
Having fun and they're confident. This 2-3 zone has produced great results for Coppin State.
Short corner jumper. Styles and Middlebrooks with an easy one. Gotta say though, a little surprised in a zone. That's got to be McNeil's shot that he turned down. I know they got a decent shot from Styles there too, but
and they're going to have those opportunities to shoot. They got to shoot in their rhythm and have that confidence.
That'll be the second foul on Dunn, but he gets a little punctuation here. The Eagles off and flying early in Raleigh. Morcell, I'm Andrew Sanders here in Reynolds Coliseum. Coppin State with a 7-point advantage. And they've done it despite allowing NC State really to get to the offensive glass. It hasn't mattered. NC State shooting just 24%. Meanwhile, the Eagles at 64%. They've been getting good looks.
They've been putting a lot of pressure on the rim, taking advantage of NC State's pressure. I expect Coppin to stay in this 2-3 or stay in this 1-2-2 zone for as long as possible.
Pass has knocked down the only 3 so far for NC State. Styles. Offensive recycle by McNeil. Free throw line jumper. And another offensive rebound. Middlebrooks looking to do it himself.
Great job by Ben Middlebrooks, timing the ball off the rim to keep the offensive possession alive for the Wolfpack.
He practiced against this guy. He doesn't seem like he'd be easy to box out.
He's one of the toughest. Between him and DJ Burns, they were tough.
And Middlebrooks hits the free throw. That allowed NC State to set up its pressure. Coppin State so far 3 turnovers, but they haven't come in live ball situations where NC State could really push in the fast break, where they're 3rd best in the country in that category. We got a kick ball here by Middlebrooks.
On the defensive end, NC State is trying to speed up Coppin State as much as possible by increasing the pressure. I expected them to throw a couple double teams, anything to throw the defense off.
Dozie can't finish over Middlebrooks. And that's a foul on Harrison.
Foul number 0, sorry, Harrison.
Talked about in the open that Styles starting to become a go-to option. That's just number 10, Marcus Hill, right? He had 23 points against Florida State. That's a season high, not just for Hill, but for anybody on this team. And get this, he's shooting a little better than 54%. That number would lead the ACC, but he's 1 field goal shy. You got to have enough shots, right? He's 1 shot shy, so pretty impressive. Usually you think about guys that are going to lead the league in shooting, and yeah, it's early, but you're talking about the big guys, right? Not a guard.
Yeah, usually it is.
But Styles said in the postgame against Florida State, he said, you know, Marcus Hill, he might get more of the paint than any guard I've ever played with.
That's something that Marcus Hill loves. He loves those paint touches. And it puts so much pressure on the defense because it clears up so many opportunities for the offensive team.
NC State has cut it to 2. Ellerbe attacks.
That's what Ellerbe loves to do. He loves to play out of that mid-range, mid-post area. He saw he had a mismatch on him. He took full advantage of it.
It was their leading scorer with 11 their last game at Wagner. Did it in just 22 minutes. This will be an NC State turnover.
It's taking NC State some time to get adjusted to this zone. They haven't seen it much this year. And I think they're still just trying to figure it out and build that chemistry on the offensive end.
They've seen a lot of it in this game, right? Because they haven't been able to get really those transition opportunities. Drive and kick, Harrison. Ellerbe's 3 is off. And a recycle by Nadozie. And the only fast break point tonight for NC State, they have 1, and it came off the O'Connell free throws. Middlebrooks rejects the shot. One of the best shot blockers in the ACC, better than 1.5 per game. The repost pass, Middlebrooks fouled.
Ellerbe gambled on that play, which led to Ben Middlebrooks having an opportunity to finish on the offensive end. And he's just been doing it at a high level on both ends of the floor, as you see in there with that block. And NC State does a great job of feeding him on the offensive end to help him get going, because that's what they're going to need from him.
His 16th block of the year, 2nd in the ACC in terms of blocks per game. Bryce Curd will check in. He didn't play the last couple of games against Texas and Florida State. Pass comes out. Middlebrooks, I think, might have a cut on his left hand, so he's getting that taken care of. Left index finger. Give you 20 seconds to clean that up, and they want to, right? Because they want him to stay in and shoot these free throws. Or this free throw, I should say. He already made one. Heard the freshman from Chicago picking up on the ball in the dozy. Now this is Ellerby. What a finish. Boy, Styles was up towards the top of the box there, and he still put it up over him and in.
Strong move by Ellerby. Coppin State is going to need that from him in order for them to stay in this game, and he knows it.
Styles. Middlebrooks again. Styles loves that baseline jumper. Middlebrooks, more free throws coming.
Foul number 3, Ingram Brown for Coppin State, his first foul. The Eagles' 9th team foul.
That foul goes against the guard, Cameron Brown, his first. 9th team foul. So NC State in the double bonus. The remaining 8:37 of this first half.
Ben Middlebrooks has done an excellent job just keeping his energy high by getting second and third opportunities for NC State. He's doing a great job of doing the dirty work, right? And that's something that coaches love, and that's why he's been playing so much in this game.
That makes sense. You know, when your offense is clicking, everything's going smoothly. That's all fine and well, but so far this has been the kind of game where NC State's just had to scrap for everything, and Middlebrooks has been able to give them a spark really when it seems like nothing else is working. It's a good matchup here. Taylor picking up Ellerby. 6 to shoot. With 1 on the shot clock, Horton does draw iron. And that's going to save a possession here for the Eagles.
That was excellent ball movement by Coppin State on that possession. Multiple touches from everyone on the floor, even the behind the back pass to the shot went in their favor on that offensive possession.
More good defense by Middlebrooks, and Styles take us to the under 8. Eagles still out in front by 3. Heritage game here at Reynolds Coliseum. Construction began back in 1942, although it was paused in 1943 during World War II. Resumed construction in 48 and finished in 49 with the first game very end of 1949, December 2nd against Washington and Lee. NC State won that game by 20. An interesting wrinkle, not all the seats were installed yet. So some of the fans that just sat on the cement tiers where the future seats were to go. Part of the incredible history of this facility. James Taylor will go to the line to shoot 2 as he got downhill against the Eagles. And the foul starting to mount for an Eagles team that has led this whole way. We've got some pretty cool footage for you. Reynolds Coliseum over the years, and really just a fun game every year to be able to kind of look back and see some of the special moments that happen in this building.
Many memories for NC State hoops in this building. And that's why this game is so important, especially with NC State wearing the uniforms, representing the past. In my opinion, I think NC State might need to stick with these uniforms and wear them a little more.
I think that's a popular opinion. Honestly, it's a great look.
They haven't lost many games in them either.
25-2 since 2000 in this building. That's part of the history of this building. Back when it was the regular home, it was known as the toughest place to play in the ACC, maybe in the country. Ellerby fouled by Parker Jr. It's still a tough place to play, whether it's volleyball, wrestling, women's basketball, gymnastics, the ACC champs. Part of the energy, the history of this building. And there's the Final Four banner from Cleveland from the women's basketball team, as both men's and women's went to the Final Four. Here's North Carolina head coach Hubert Davis about playing here. The sea of red just never seemed to end. It was always flustered in those first 20 minutes. It was that intimidating. Hill with the offhand for two. State draws level.
Strong move by Marcus Hill, scoring in transition. And that's what NC State is going to get tonight. They're going to get those opportunities in transition. Because if you're Coppin State, it causes miscommunication.
This will be 1-and-1 free throws for Ellerby as Huntley Hatfield looked like he lost his balance, really. Just went kind of careening into Ellerby.
Ellerby just doing a great job of just putting his head down and just attacking his NC State defense. He notices that they're pressuring him further away from the basket, and that clears up a lot of driving lanes for opportunities to get to the rim.
Ellerby playing with 2 fouls. Again, this Coppin State team, 2 of their top players have been out with injuries. And their leading scorer, Darius Ward, 5th-year player, and Ryan Archie, who's a sophomore, was on the all-freshman team last year in the MEAC. So without 2 of their top scorers, as Hurd can't hit the 3, they've pretty much been in an 8-player rotation, although we have seen Darius Leonard play his first minutes in the month of December here. Good block by Taylor. Cameron Brown. NC State looking for its first lead. Won't get it here. Taylor stepped on the sideline.
It's a tough play by NC State on that possession. They had the transition that they wanted. Jaden Taylor ran his lane to the corner. It's an unfortunate opportunity for the Wolfpack.
4 turnovers so far for NC State, 4 for the Eagles. And that's key for Coppin State because NC State turnover margin better than +4 per game. Doesn't sound like a lot in basketball. It really is. They're one of the best in that category. And so if you can be even with them in turnovers, it does a lot for you. Tough shot. Maybe a chance to run for Taylor. Bounce pass, nearly turned it over again, and now they do put Huntley Hatfield in a bad spot.
Coppin State's doing a great job just staying in it. That's all you want to do if you're Coppin State. Stay in it and try to build momentum in the second half.
Gets in the paint, and he's one of the best shooters in the ACC when he does. First lead for the Wolfpack comes here, 5 minutes remaining in the first half. It's a 7-0 run extended here in the last about 3.5 minutes. Out of contact, no foul. Taylor on the push. Another tough pass from him.
NC State's doing a great job in transition. They just got to complete passes. Marcus Hill, as you've seen on that play, doing a great job breaking his defender down, getting to the rim. But when other guys attack, they just got to make the simple play and just catch. Everyone's trying to do too much and play too fast. Just got to move at a comfortable pace if you're the Wolfpack.
Third out, Styles re-enters. Casey, when you start 0 of 10 as a team against the zone, I don't know if frustration sets in that quickly, but can that cause you to kind of press a little bit? When you get down 9 early.
It can. And we've seen it tonight. But it's essential to understand that it's a 40-minute game, right? And the defense is eventually going to wear out. Coppin State threw their best punch early, and they're still staying strong, but NC State's just going to have to continue to stay solid for the duration of the game.
Dozy with the basket. They close out on pass. Good ball movement. Straight on. Parker Jr. pours it in.
Great shot by Parker Jr. He had his feet set and he shot it in rhythm.
That might be one of the best times the ball has moved so far tonight for NC State offensively. Huntley Hatfield going to be whistled. That's his second. Take us to the under 4 timeout. NC State up 3. Thanks to Dennis Parker Jr. Coppin State is led by as many as 9 in this first half, and you can see the hot start. Since they've cooled off a little bit, NC State couldn't find anything in the early going. They've settled into this game. Case, this is the largest lead NC State has had so far by 3. How have you seen things change? Somewhat subtly, but slowly but surely over the course of this half.
As you mentioned, Coppin State has just started to cool off a bit. They started off having a bunch of momentum, and it honestly threw NC State off with the zone that they presented. And I don't think NC State was necessarily prepared for what they saw from Coppin State. And now NC State's starting to get settled in and adapt to the flow of the game, which propelled them to get a 2-point lead.
Coppin State has 4 points from the free throw line. The other 20 all in the paint. If you're not knocking down threes, that's what you need. Good play, Dennis Parker Jr. and Styles pays it off.
Great job by Parker Jr. drawing the defense and finding Dontre Styles for an open 3. This energy starting to pick up. You can hear it in here tonight.
Drive and dish. Styles got off to a slow start against Florida State. He had just 2 points at halftime. He finished with 21. That included knocking down 3 threes. And NC State needed every bit of it in an OT game that snapped Florida State's nation's leading, really historical streak. 14 consecutive overtime wins, which is almost unfathomable. I mean, you go to overtime, you're talking about a coin flip game. They won 14 in a row until they ran into NC State the other day.
And one thing that Dontre Styles hitting that 3 did was it forced Coppin State to move out of the 2-3 zone, and now they're in a man-to-man. And if you're NC State, that's what you want, because that's going to clear up many driving lane opportunities for NC State to get to the rim.
Done. Traveled. And to your point earlier, NC State hasn't seen a ton of zone yet this year.
They haven't. They haven't.
So if it's, Casey, if it's been 4 or 5 games since you've seen zone, that's, you'd rather see it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what most teams run in the ACC as well, is man-to-man. Not many teams run zone. I think NC State's used to that.
Hill trying to force the issue, saved underneath his own basket. And Ellerby's playing so hard, and they will win the possession, albeit dramatically.
And NC State has figured out how they're going to win this game. And they know they're going to win this game by getting second and third opportunities off of misses. I don't see anyone even checking back. All 5 guys are going to the rim when the shot goes up.
The Eagles have scored just 2 fast break points. So if they're not hurting you on the break, might as well crash. And that's led NC State to 11 offensive rebounds to this point. Nice move, Ndozi. Toby Ndozi played against NC State a year ago, did not score. He played just a couple of minutes for Maryland Eastern Shore, but He's had a couple of nice plays on the offensive end as Middlebrooks gets to his spot and extends the Wolfpack lead.
And Middlebrooks has a huge advantage inside the paint. And I'm surprised NC State just doesn't go to him every possession.
Middlebrooks doing it on both sides of the floor. Forces the turnover, but yeah, that's easy for him.
And that's there pretty much. Been there pretty much every possession so far. It's essential for Ben Middlebrooks to get going early.
Good box out by Dunn. And one of the few times it's felt like tonight NC State is one and done on this end.
Yeah, on that play, not many people had touches. Usually NC State gets their best looks when it gets from side to side of the court and multiple people can touch the ball on the offensive end.
A little surprise, Coppin State didn't try to go 2 for 1 here. 6 on the shot clock for Brown. Nadozie sees it roll off. Shot clock is off. Hill doesn't care. He wants to run.
One thing Marcus Hill, we know what we're going to see from him is a lot of driving opportunities. And that's been beneficial at times for NC State because it could clear up opportunities for shots. It's up to NC State to hit those shots when they're presented.
Hill and Styles really stepped up the last couple of games. Those have been 2 big games, right? Texas and Florida State. You see what that pair has done. And that's coming off what was a tough trip to San Diego. Played the Rady Children's Invitational. Lost to Purdue and BYU. So despite a tough loss against Texas game, they felt like they really should have closed out. Positive sign for a team that's still looking for that go-to option. And right now, Styles and Hill have kind of auditioned best to this point. I know it's a long season, but they've already got a conference game under their belt. These are the time of year where you got Kansas on Saturday. You got to start figuring out the answers to some of these questions.
It's still early, and the coaches know it. But it's still an opportunity, if you're NC State, to stack up quad ones. That's something that is going to come back and serve as a lot of value later on in March when you're trying to make a March Madness bid.
You could win quad ones, or you could just win 5 games in 5 days.
Yeah,
that works too.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't wish that grind on anybody. My body is still recovering from that run.
7.7 for Pass and company. Parker Jr. Highlights to end the first half. And NC State will take its largest lead of the half into the locker room. An 0 of 10 start. They go 11 for 22, 50% past that point. Nice way to finish it off for Parker Jr. It is halftime here in Raleigh, the Heritage game, as NC State men's basketball has returned to Reynolds Coliseum. 7-point lead at the break. Second half next on the ACC Network Extra. Reynolds went under renovation, and after 15 months, it was completed in August of 2016. It reduced the capacity of 5,500 for basketball. It also included the NC State Athletics Walk of Fame, the Grand Hall, the Coach's Corner, as well as classrooms and offices. Renovation turned out incredible. and it is still one of the best venues in the country. The home of the Wolfpack is NC State, and its way back out onto the floor. We're getting set for the second half here in the Heritage game. Great crowd, as always, here at Valvano Arena, Reynolds Coliseum. Back with Casey Morcell, Andrew Sanders here. It was a sluggish start for NC State. They were able to continue picking up the momentum as the half went along and taking their largest lead, a 7-point lead, into the halftime locker room. Still some adjustments to be made.
And it all started with how Coppin State came out from the tip, right? I mean, they slowed down NC State, and it all started with their 2-3 zone. It forced NC State to shoot jump shots, and it made them uncomfortable, and it executed. But it's up to Coppin to execute it for a full 20 minutes. NC State is starting to get going. It's starting to build momentum, and it's essential for Coppin to try to slow them down as much as possible if they want to stay in this game.
You notice one thing about all these highlights for Coppin State, punctuated by a Jonathan Dunn dunk, but all those points coming in the paint for NC State. A lot of work in the paint also thanks to Ben Middlebrooks with his team high 10. And NC State dominating the offensive glass with 11 offensive rebounds in the first 20.
For Ben Middlebrooks, it all starts with his rim protection. He protects the rim like no other in the country, and that clears up easy opportunities for him on the offensive end.
Get a look at the first half summary, and NC State 0 of 10 since right about 50%, right? 11 for 23. But again, if you're the Eagles, you got to think that they're talking about. We saw Coach Stewart call an early timeout even when they had the lead. We're playing really well. They have got to circle that 11 offensive rebound number, and if it's anywhere close to double figures in the second half, they're not going to win this game. But they have shown an ability to get to the rim and be able to score with NC State.
As you mentioned, Coppin State has done a solid job on the defensive end, and it all started with their 2-3 zone. But something that they struggle with is finishing possessions. Guys like Ben Middlebrooks and other guys have gone and attacking the rim, trying to get second or third opportunities. And if you're Coppin, if you could just finish the possession, you could stay in this game.
Might be a game changer for NC State to have Michael O'Connell back out there. He picked up 2 quick fouls, and the grad student makes their offense go. 11 assists in his last 2 games. He leads the ACC as assist-to-turnover ratio better than 4.5. So he gets them a lot easier shots when he's in the game, and might make a big impact here in the second half. Got a deflection there. Cameron Brown able to stay with it. More penetration. And finally some points not in the paint. A little short corner jumper on the baseline by Oduro.
If you're Oduro, you're going to get those looks. NC State's a team that loves to pressure, and that's clearing up drive lanes for guards to hook up Oduro on the offensive end.
Oduro spent a year at George Mason and Odessa College. He actually set a career high against his former team, George Mason, earlier this year. Again, another offensive rebound for NC State. They go 0 for 2 on the possessions. The O'Connell 3 and the Styles put back attempts.
If you're NC State, it's essential to convert on those second and third chances that you're getting on the offensive end. That's something Coppin State struggles with, is finishing possessions. NC State has to convert to win comfortably in this game.
Oduro, shot fake, and fouled by Parker Jr. Well, you said just a second ago, partner, you said he's going to get those looks, and he just got another one, and this time he used the shot fake to his advantage.
Because the guards for Coppin State are drawing so much attention, especially on their drives. If you're Oduro, if you could just get to your sweet spot, as you've seen there, got Ben Middlebrooks up in the air. When you get Ben Middlebrooks up in the air, you're NC State, you lose that rim protection, and he took full advantage of it.
It's a home bounce. A little smile from Oduro. His brother Josh, you might remember, played at George Mason, also played at Providence.
Great player. Peter plays very similar to Josh Oduro.
Okay. How about about you? You have multiple brothers, right? At least one?
I have one brother.
One brother. How are your games pretty similar?
Pretty similar. He has me by a couple inches, so we have to change our games a little bit.
And he's your older brother.
Yeah.
So he's clearly better than you.
I don't know about that.
I'm trying to represent for all the older brothers out there. Transition triple, in and out. Great pass, Hill to Parker Jr. And there's the transition points NC State was looking for in the first half. And now a turnover on the inbounds, an unforced error by Collie Horton.
NC State is looking for an opportunity to build that momentum. As you're seeing there, Parker Jr. has done an excellent job this season of just running his lanes, trying to get easy opportunities in transition. Great job by Marcus Hill to find him.
Six-point lead for NC State. Move it around the perimeter. Open shot, Styles. His second of the night.
Dontre Styles is automatic when his feet is set, especially in that corner. He's had plenty of opportunities tonight to knock it down, and he's starting to get going.
And check on Hill. Your brother played D1 too, though, right? Played a great player at Towson.
Played at Towson University. Yep, with CAA conference. Played against Kevin Keats during his time there. And Kevin Keats actually won the CAA for years when he was at Towson, which propelled him to come to NC State.
UNCW, yeah.
Yep.
Dribble handoff for Brown. Eagles patient, maybe a little too patient here, and they don't get a shot off.
NC State did an excellent job on that possession, on that defensive possession. So stayed solid. No one gambled, and they put a full possession together for a full 30 seconds. Great job.
So a chance here to make it double figures for the first time tonight. Hill lost it, got it back. And a good stop for Coppin State.
One thing NC State struggled with that last possession is spacing. The spacing was bad and forced Marcus Hill to shoot a tough jumper.
Turnover starting to mount for the Eagles here. And really the unforced one on the inbound. On the other end, Huntley Hatfield's going to come in here and spell Middlebrooks. These are some important minutes for Huntley Hatfield. It took him until the second half just to get a field goal attempt. He only got one shot against Florida State, which he hit in 18 minutes. They haven't really established him. They've got to get him going if they're going to reach their potential this year as a team.
I agree. Ben Middlebrooks has done a great job, but he's going to need, at times, he's going to need to have that guy come in and help give him a breather whenever things get rough.
And Coach Keats has played them together just a little bit. It's a possibility this year, but it should be one of the strengths is at the 5, no matter who's in. Tough shot to Dozie, the turnaround over O'Connell's outstretched hand. LRB, size advantage, and he takes Hill to the hoop.
LRB does a phenomenal job of getting to the basket, right? I mean, as you see on that play, put a series of moves together to help get to the left side of the basket. He's been performing big as of late.
O'Connell had it knocked out of his hands by Harrison, right to Parker Jr. Styles right there able to bail him out at the end of the shot clock. And again, that's one of the questions for this team. When the possession isn't going anywhere, who can still score it? Styles does that time. Oduro an answer. Oduro, 11 points to lead the team in their last home game. That was a game against Loyola Maryland. They played well. The second half lead couldn't hold on to it. Sparrow will be whistled for the foul. After a lot of foul trouble in the first half, that's the first foul on the Eagles. It comes with 13:46 to go in half number 2. Here at Reynolds Coliseum, Valvano Arena, Jimmy V, who was hired on March 27, 1980, 10 years at NC State, twice the ACC tournament champ in '83 and '87, a couple regular season championships as well, and of course, the national championship in 1983. Hill makes his first free throw. There's Ernie Myers, who not only was on that 1983 team with Coach Valvano, but is an incredible radio analyst for the NC State women's basketball team.
Ernie's the man. Ernie's the man. He's definitely an NC State legend. Has done great things, not only NC State basketball, but NC State University as a whole.
It's V Week at ESPN when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. This is game-changing research that helps save lives. You can join the fight against cancer by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. NC State a 9-point lead. And Coppin State back in the zone. Something Coach V was known for sometimes. Throw out a junk zone and see how teams react to it. It gave NC State trouble in the first half. Started 0 for 10 and giving them more trouble here. And is this going to be a whistle on Trey Parker? It is.
Sometimes that 2-3 zone can produce great results. It's risky because you give up open looks, but hey, if a team's off, you never know what it could do for you.
To shoot. Can't hit it. Got Parker and Parker Jr. in the game now, along with Huntley, Hatfield, Hill, and Taylor, who's calling for the ball. Hill in the paint, knocked down. But we've seen Bryce Hurd come in the game, Paul McNeil Jr. come in the game, and Coach Keats has played a number of different players. I was talking to Ernie Myers the other day about playing time and rotations. We're talking about, these questions that get answered as the season goes on. And he was saying how Coach V would always tell them, look, I don't decide who plays. I don't determine that. Your minutes determine that. And as well as you play, that's going to earn you more minutes. So these are some of the things the rotations figured out as this game goes along, as the season goes along. Under 12, Hack up 11. Coming up this Sunday is the Jimmy V Women's Classic. 1 o'clock on ABC. Sanaya Rivers, Madison Hayes, and NC State back in the top 25. They'll be at Louisville, where the Wolfpack has won its last 5 in a premier ACC rivalry, NC State and Louisville. It's Reynolds Coliseum, the regular home for the Wolfpack women's basketball team. Foul on the Wolfpack, team foul number 4. It goes against Parker Jr., his 3rd. Good contest by Huntley Hatfield. Defending without fouling, lest he pick up his 3rd.
And that's what NC State's defense intends to do, is disrupt tempo. As we see here, they're starting to disrupt their offense, making it tough for Coppin State to get a shot off.
Brown, shot clock violation. He got the shot off, didn't draw iron. You know, Coppin State has really avoided the big run in this game. NC State hasn't been able to land a haymaker, but they have turned what was a 9-point deficit slowly here into an 11-point lead.
And I think Coppin's starting to wear down as the game goes on. They don't have as deep of a bench as NC State does, and it's starting to show.
Yeah, again, they did get Leonard into the game here for the first time in the last several, but it's largely an 8-man rotation. Coach Keats has a lot of depth this year. Is that something, good find here for an easy land for Aduro. Is that something you felt as a player sometimes when you all had depth and you had really tightened the screws defensively over the course of the game, that the final 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it might be, could you start to feel that other teams kind of running out of gas against you at times?
Yeah, but I would say this. I don't think Kevin Keats, I think he's still trying to figure out a lineup that works. I think that's why we're starting to see more and more faces out here. I think once he finds a group that kind of all meshes the best, then he'll stick with that and essentially reduce the lineup. Every year he tends to go deeper down his bench in November and December. But come January, I expect an 8-man rotation for Kevin Keats as well.
Penetration by Parker. He'll shoot a pair.
Great job by Trey Parker attacking the rim. Your NC State, you know, that's where your opportunities are going to come from, is from attacking the rim. Coppin State is lacking of rim presence down low, but Oduro being essentially the rim defender down at the basket. So it's essential for the NC State guards to try to get to the basket and put pressure on this Coppin State defense.
Last time these two teams met, a couple of years ago, almost to the day, December 6th, 2022. That was the Heritage game that year, NC State against Coppin State. Casey, you played in that game. I don't know how well you remember it, but Terquavion Smith had 33 in that game, and Jarkel Joyner had 29.
Oh, wow. That's big time.
Speaking of guards getting to the rim and scoring, Baby T had 6 threes to go along with it. What was a 94-72 win for the Wolfpack. Brown gets past pass.
In that possession all started with Breon pass. He did an excellent job guarding with his feet and not with his hands.
They give the big man the ball. Hatfield working hard. Fouled.
That's his third personal foul. Coppin State's third team foul.
Coppin State has returned back to their 2-3 zone, forcing NC State to shoot.
Eagles looking to run. Nadozie left elbow pull up too strong. Got his own miss. And fouled by Parker.
That's call number 5, Trey Parker for NC State. That's his third personal foul.
Here, Kevin Keats, I know you're frustrated with the fact that NC State couldn't finish that possession. I know personally this NC State team spends a lot of time working on rebounding. And nothing bothers coaches more than giving up second and third chance opportunities. It's essentially like giving up a free basket.
3 subs as Parker Jr. pass and Huntley Hatfield out. Get Hill and O'Connell back in along with Ben Middlebrooks. Both Hill and Middlebrooks the best nights offensively so far into double figures. Timeout. Coppin State will step aside as they've cut it to 9 here in the second half. Scoring distribution for NC State so far tonight. Hill leading the way with 13. All 10 of Middlebrooks' points came in the first half. He's out there now. Parker Jr. who has 10. 3 fouls.
And that's what we're going to expect to see from NC State all year. I mean, that balanced scoring could serve as value in terms of an opponent not knowing who could get hot on any given night.
Been pretty quiet for Jaden Taylor so far. Just 1 point. Looking to change that and does. It certainly benefits to balance, and this team has had it at times. Is on Middlebrooks. Coppin State shooting free throws when we come back with the under 8.
All right, fans.
Back with Casey Morcell. Andrew Sanders with you from Raleigh. Campus here at NC State. 2 free throws coming for redshirt senior Zahri Harrison. And with it being under 8, the missed free throw promotion has been triggered. So he's got some pressure on these free throws as he calmly sinks the first. Look, Coppin State, we're down 10 here.
They're hanging on. They're hanging on. They stayed strong when NC State tried to go on a run. But this lineup that we're seeing from NC State, we expect them to try to speed them up. Speed up the tempo. Essentially a 4-guard lineup. And they're going to switch every screen.
Yeah, the Eagles got off to a fast start. Talking about, you know, the anatomy of an upset, you're probably going to need to get off to a nice start. But again, they've really avoided, as Hill will go back to the line, they've really avoided letting NC State get out and run. For the most part, they've limited the easy baskets, and it has kept them right in this game. And you don't want to harp on it too much. Look, everybody, you can see next to their point total, right? 0-10, 0-10. It's been a tough go. It was a tough go last year. They went 2-27. But I think this performance, despite no matter what happens the next 7:30, if they come back and win, if they end up losing by more than, you know, currently 9, certainly some positives they can take away from what they've done already tonight.
Most definitely, most definitely. I think you said it best. They've thrown their best punch at NC State, and they've just stayed solid. If they can keep this momentum heading into MEAC play, they could be very dangerous.
Especially if they can get a little healthier.
Ball turnover. Again, Coach Stewart playing their 4th ACC game tonight, and again, Wake Forest able to pull away late in that game. Virginia 17. The only blowout was in Coral Gables at Miami. Been methodical at times too, patient. If the push isn't there, is Harrison right here. They've run a lot of clock and shortened this game. What a pass! O'Connell to Middlebrooks, and Middlebrooks is hurt. That was a tough landing.
Ben Middlebrooks has been phenomenal for NC State. Doing it on both ends, guarding the guard, and then going up strong for a finish hit on the fast break.
Foul ball number 6. Julius Ellerby, the third.
They are going to review this.
15.
I don't know about you, Casey. I didn't see a whole lot from Ellerby there. Obviously, he makes contact. Foul is called.
I agree. I don't think it was intentional.
He started to go up and then, you know, kind of put his arms down like, you know what, I'm not going to be able to get the ball.
Yeah, it looked just like a freak incident on that play. He didn't really touch him too much. Yeah, it just looks like a normal basketball play to me.
Common foul. Again, that was the call on the court. It is the 3rd foul on Ellerby. He joins Harrison with 3. Sparrow on the bench with 4.
This game has been physical tonight on both ends.
The previous calls confirmed on the floor. Common foul. 2 shots.
Bill coming to junior. Tony Padilla, Adam Foray. Just a common foul. First point for Middlebrooks here in the second half. Again, he had 10 in the first and was really the difference maker. Probably the main reason NC State had a lead at the halftime break.
is 1 for 2. Away from the ball. This is Hurd. Called for a foul, and that'll be free throws for Coppin State here, 1-1. Casey, I don't know. I'm curious your thoughts as what you think about this. NC State has not played at the level tonight that it did in the win over Florida State. You've got Kansas looming. As a player, you know who's coming up next on the schedule. Some people call it a trap game, a look-ahead game. Is that something as a player that you ever caught yourself doing?
No, not me personally. But it is normal, and it does happen in the locker room at times.
You got to know, hey, we're going to Fog Allen next.
Yeah, and that's for sure definitely one of those games that's circled on the calendar. But if anything, I think it's best to view this game as a game that essentially sharpen the knife and learn from your mistakes, because you know when you go to the Fog, the margin for error is going to be so slim.
Good. Oh, Dunn called for a foul. I was in the process of saying good block. I thought it was.
Number 13, Jonathan Dunn.
That's going to be the third foul on Dunn.
Ben Middlebrooks at the line.
Ben Middlebrooks, he knows that Coppin State has a disadvantage down low. He's been living at the free throw line. He's been living in the paint. And that's gave NC State a huge advantage on the offensive end.
Free throws taken by NC State. So despite the fact that not shooting it well, just 33% for the game, able to tack on an extra 16 points at the line. Steal by Middlebrooks. Oduro, the offensive rebound. Yeah, he's there to clean it up.
Oduro doing a great job just staying solid. He knows if he just plays his role, he's going to have opportunities to score.
Middlebrooks fouls Dunn. It's going to get Dontre Styles in the game. Also, Ismail Doof.
That's his second personal foul.
Excited to see Ismail Doof tonight. Haven't seen much of him this season. He could be a great spark to this NC State team. As he's another guy that Kevin Keats is essentially trying to fit into the lineup and evaluate.
First free throw missed by Dunn. Ismail Doof last played against BYU out in San Diego. Just a couple appearances for him off the bench. He was ineligible the first 2 games. Missed the Colgate game with an injury, so he's been a little banged up. Get some time here. Second free throw, good.
And even with Coppin State's record being what it is, they're going to play hard to the very end.
Active hands. And Dunn couldn't get the lob to go, but he saves the possession to Dozie. Looking to make it single digits again. Step back. Oh! Toby to Dozie makes it a 7-point game.
Coppin State has so much fight With the record being what it is, they move with a different sense of urgency.
Showing the post moves. It's just his second basket of the year. Looked like he's done it a million times right there. Foul on Hill. That'll take us to the break. Coppin State not going away. Legendary NC State head coach Everett Case had a brilliant idea. Play a yearly tournament held in Reynolds from 49 to 60. The Dixie Classic Tournament, NC State, Duke, Carolina, Wake Forest. Played in a 3-day period every December. And you see the Wolfpack winning 7 Dixie Classic championships. And while they did have a few other teams come and play, no team from outside North Carolina ever won the championship. And it was part of Reynolds Coliseum and that tournament. Coach Case, big part of why basketball became so popularized in this area, the ACC. Going to work, tough move. NC State needed a basket. The under 4 timeout, just a single-digit game, back up to double figures thanks to Styles. And Coppin State, look, they've got an uphill climb, but they are in this game. Dozie dribbled it off his foot.
Great defense by Parker Jr. Doing a great job just sliding his feet. He knows he has a size advantage, so he just stays solid on that possession.
Styles left open. He's got 3 threes on the night. That's 3 straight games for him with 3 threes. Not bad for the stretch 4.
And that shot was big for Dontrez Styles. Forcing NC State to get a 14-point lead, and now everyone's starting to get into it, and you can feel it, that the crowd is starting to get going.
Off a bounce pass from O'Connell. 3 more for number 3 and a timeout. Coppin State after they turn it over again. Dozie off his foot. Doof with good defense, staying straight up, forces the travel. It's a 7-0 spurt for NC State, trying to close out this game. It hasn't been their prettiest.
It hasn't. It hasn't.
But defensively, look, held the Eagles to just 50 points to this point. Once a couple shots start going down, things get a little easier.
If you're NC State, this is a valuable film that you could use heading into Kansas. You don't know what type of defense Kansas can necessarily throw at you. They might surprisingly throw a zone. You've seen that a lot in this game. So this NC State team can use this as a lesson that they still have a lot to learn and ways to go into the season.
Under 2 to play. Styles again. Starting to be that go-to option, he and Hill.
Strong move by Dontrez. Even though he could shoot it, he still loved that mid-range. He did a great job on that possession getting to his spot.
Reynolds just sticks with them. 3-ball, Ellerbe.
That was smooth by Ellerbe. Shot it in rhythm. He's playing hard to the very end.
Just the second 3 of the night for the Eagles. Styles feeling it. In and out. As he takes the rebound away from Hill, it's 5-on-4 momentarily. Ellerbe, no-look bounce pass, bobbled by Aduro. And they want timeout. They've got 1 left, and they will use it with 41.7 to go in a 13-point game. And it looks like NC State is going to survive a great effort from Coppin State.
And NC State, they were tested on how they were going to react to the 2-3 zone, and it took them time to get going, but they found a way. And tonight, I mean, Ben Middlebrooks did a great job of being that guy. And it started with his offensive rebound, his defense on the rim. And they're going to need his presence down low in order to come out with a strong victory, not only tonight, but heading into Lawrence next week. Excuse me, this Saturday.
Coppin State still winless on the year. It's coming. It's coming.
Coppin State, I mean, they did all of the things you could do to put yourself in a position to win.
Yeah.
I felt like they just ran out of gas towards the end of the second half. And it all starts with their bench. I don't think they went too deep. NC State essentially played all of the scholarship guys available.
So to be a baseline left inbounds for Nadozie. 18 to shoot. Harrison wants a screen. They ghost the screen. And Parker's called for a blocking foul. Number 4 on Trey. One more chance at the free chicken sandwich promotion.
This place gets loud. They know this is their last opportunity for a free sandwich.
That's what you got to do if you're Harrison. Just erase any thoughts of the chicken sandwich on the first shot. You don't want the pressure of shot number 2. Paul McNeil Jr. back in. Hill, the leading scorer in this game, with 16. 6 of them from the free throw line.
Also, number 7, Bryce Bird.
Got them both. 1.5 second differential, shot clock, game clock. Parker lost the basketball.
Once again, they get another opportunity for a free sandwich.
Chance to cut into single figures again, but it's not often the home team is called for a foul. And the student section of the band cheers. Done with 10 points now. 4 in double figures for the Eagles. They have fought hard tonight. McNeil across midcourt. He's not just going to dribble it out. He'll take a step back three. And this game comes to a close, 66-56, the final score. NC State now 26-2 in Reynolds Coliseum since 2000. So a 10-point win in the end for the Wolfpack. They struggled at times with Coppin State, both their zone and man-to-man. But this defensive battle goes the way of the Wolfpack.
NC State found a way. And it all started with Ben Middlebrooks doing a great job with his rim protection down low. NC State's going to have to build on this. This is a lesson that they still have ways to go heading into Lawrence.
Marcus Hill, 16 points, leading the way for NC State as they win their Heritage game and improve to 7-3 on the season. Up next, a trip to Kansas. That'll do it for our broadcast here in Raleigh. For my partner, Casey Morcell, our great crew here, I'm Andrew Sanders saying good night. 66-56, the final. NC State wins. It's been a presentation of ESPN.